Welcome to an updated gua sha and facial cupping routine and tutorial. I thought I'd put the videos together because it was kind of split between the two, what you guys wanted to see first. So I just want to share with you kind of my little toolkit. I've got facial cups that we sell at that size. We also have these tiny little facial cups which are really great for around the eye area. We chose not to stock these or sell them because they can be quite dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. You can pull and drag the eye area, which is very sensitive. And then we have our gua sharing tool, which is on the website. We have some jade rollers, which I do like, but they don't really have, I guess, many benefits opposed to the facial cupping and the gua sha. So we decided not to stock these because I don't believe they really serve a purpose compared to the others. And then we have an eye crystal gua sha, which I love, beautiful, but the same thing, I didn't want to stock it because you can just use the edge of the gua sha to get the same result. And I have an acupressure pen in crystal, which is really great for using your acupressure points. But then again, the same thing, we chose not to stock it because you can use the edge of your gua shas. So really important to us to have multi-use products, which is why we went with the gua sha, because it kind of brings all of what these other tools do together to just have the one product, which means that you guys are buying less things, which means less things end up in landfill. So we chose to go with the jade crystal because this is the traditional beauty tool crystal, and it helps to decrease inflammation and promote well-being. So the most important tip I always say is to start with your chest and make sure that you are quite oiled up. I have just done my evening routine, so my face is kind of oily, but my chest isn't really enough. And make sure you are popping it up your neck because you're going to be using that area as well. Okay, so the most important thing is to understand the points of the gua sha. So this long flat edge you would use across your chest. You can use down your neck and along your cheek and along the forehead. The little groove is really great for getting up under the chin line through here and down through this muscle all the way out to the shoulder. And then all the points and the tips are really great for all the acupressure points around the face. And then I also like to use this particular edge here to go up and get the 3 points in the eyebrow and to help do an eye lift. This is also really great for reducing stress and tension in the forehead, and it helps to clear the nasal passage as well. So just getting into it, most important thing, start with your chest, then your neck, and then your face. The reason why we start with the chest and neck is to open up our lymphatic drainage system, which allows all the toxins to kind of know where to go, and that's to be eliminated. At the end, once you've done your facial cup, it is nice to just make sure you do a couple more around the chest and neck to kind of bring the flow back down. And repeating, sorry, I'm so out of breath. I'm 15 weeks pregnant and it's been a journey. I've been really well, but yeah, just out of breath and exhausted. So making sure that whenever you're doing one motion, you're repeating at least 3 times, but it's best to kind of go 5 to 6. And just when you are doing this kind of routine, making sure that you block out at least half an hour so that you can actually enjoy the routine and spend time giving your body and yourself the love and self-care. Shouldn't be rushed. So starting at the center of the chest and drawing out towards the armpit, because this is where one of your massive lymph nodes is. And you will generate a little bit of redness because you are stimulating blood flow. So I always try and go around the collarbone, obviously, because across the top isn't going to feel that nice. And then going from the other side. And then I bring it into the neck and go down the massive lymph node that we have here. I don't know if you would remember the last time that you were sick. These can be quite swollen and sore. So it is really important to help flush them And myself, I tend to always get, it looks like a hickey the next day. I don't know why, but it must just be because I hold a lot of fluid in there. And then the same on the other side. And it is really important also, if you are kind of struggling with active acne or breakouts, to avoid doing your gua sha or facial cupping treatment until they subside, because if you're going to be rubbing the bacteria around and opening up your pores, it's just going to spread your bacteria. So check out our free ebook, because there is a few acupressure tutorials on there where you can learn about the acupressure points in your face that help to reduce acne and also promote anti-aging. So once we've done the chest, the neck, then we can move up to the face. So I repeat that same motion that we were doing there, but instead I go all the way up to the ear and I give it a little wriggle, because we have an acupressure point here and here. So a long and a wriggle. It feels so good, especially if you clench your jaw when you're chewing or sleeping. That little acupressure point and the muscle that's there, you will absolutely love being able to kind of release it with the gua sha. And then moving in that same upwards direction, you flip the tool to the long side and you can go up. I kind of segregate the cheek in two, so the bottom half of the cheek to the ear. And then the top half of the cheek and slightly underneath the eye. You want to be very careful around the eye and kind of drawing up at the same time. The reason why we never draw down with the tool is because you're going to promote sagging in the skin. So we always want to be lifting and sculpting the muscles in our faces. And you can see I'm starting to get a little bit of redness coming up now. And then the next point that I do is I start in the eyebrow, like with the tip, and run it along all the little nerves and acupressure points that we have under the eye. I probably love this point and that point the most. It's so relaxing and you can almost feel the tension soothing away. And then with the flat side of the tool again, going up and then up. I have a big scar and dent in my skull there, so it's a little bit hard to go over. When I was, what was I? In grade 7, I think I was playing on a bunk bed with a girlfriend and I hit my head on a fan. And if you are struggling with any kind of fine lines in the forehead area or through your number 11s here, you can use the tip of the gua sha and zigzag across them. And again, in the free ebook, there's a lot of detailed tips and tricks around specific exercises. And then also the same, I didn't mention across there, if you have fine lines, you can do the same zigzagging motion. So what I would do usually, I don't know if you can see the gentle lift. Obviously I haven't done as long as I normally would, but you can see the lift in that side opposed to this side, which is amazing. Instead of repeating the full other side with the gua sha, I'm going to go in with the facial cup. I don't obviously recommend that for you guys, but for the sake of the video, I just want to get both tutorials in. So with the facial cup, you can use the facial cup to stimulate the lymphatic drainage system again. So starting with the chest, out to the armpit. Also, it is really important when you glide, you can hear a pop. So you don't want to hold it on the skin, otherwise you'll end up with funny little bruises and hickey-like marks. So keeping it moving and making sure it does actually have suction though. You don't want to just drag it across the skin with no suction. You want that suction because that's drawing up the skin, which helps to promote elasticity and collagen. And then along the jaw and out. And also we have these little points in here where you can promote lymphatic drainage in those areas. And again, it's in the ebook if you want a few more details. And then you would move up to the face. So starting with the chin all the way to the ear. And then from the outside of the mouth to the ear. If your skin is a little bit softer, you can kind of hold the mouth so it drags less. And you can see that by stimulating and bringing the blood to the top, you can see some old acne or pimple scars. I've never had acne, so they are just pimples. I don't know if you guys remember the vitamin A massive breakout that I had. Right, I'm back. I had a little coughing fit. So moving from the chin all the way to the ear, then the outside of the mouth to the ear, the higher point of the cheek to the ear, and avoiding that soft eye area, and then coming up to the forehead. So I always do just the straight line in the middle because a lot of us will begin to see those fine lines through this area here. So I focus on that section. And then I focus on drawing kind of a rainbow shape up and around the eye. And then the same thing from the top and down. So as you can see, it's starting to promote that little bit of redness and blood flow, but then you would obviously repeat on the other side, and that is your full tutorial. So I don't recommend using the two tools in the one routine. The best way to kind of choose which is best for you at the moment is if you have a lot of puffiness and you're wanting to like sculpt your face, the gua sha tool is going to be amazing. If you keep it in the freezer, it will also help to depuff the skin because the coolness is going to help with that. And it is really great for kind of sculpting and lifting. But the facial cup, I kind of believe, there's no open study, but I believe that this has more long-lasting benefits. It's such an incredible tool because what it does is it lifts and guides similarly, not quite as well, but it actually helps to remind your skin of the elasticity in it, and the small manipulation of sucking up the skin helps for the collagen and the elastin underneath the skin to get a little bit of a workout, so it helps it to get stronger as opposed to just lifting and sculpting over time. Hope that makes sense, and if you have any questions, of course, just shoot them through and I will jump on and answer them soon.